lost before. This man was made to have me. He's out!
Is it not so also that the fruit of the Spirit is love, peace, joy, long-suffering? Everywhere I turn, I have no friends. You hear me speak here today.
But I'm talking about free speech in America. I'm talking about non-conformity. That's what I'm talking about.
That's a matter of opinion.
We gotta learn to be non-conformist.
That's right, number non-conformist.
We all look like we came off the assembly line. Nobody's got any guts. Nobody speaks their mind anymore.
That's right.
That's what's wrong with this country.
You're in here now.
Right. Right. Why, every man that speaks, you can count on the fingers of one hand. The people that got the courage to stand up and say no. That's why I say nobody says what's on their mind. I've been saying that for 20 years.
You wrapped up in religion.
That's what's wrong. Too much conformity.
All right, Miss Spearday. Just leave it alone for a second.
No, not yet, Jack.
Miss Spearday.
Not yet.
All right, just come. All right. Push, Lily.
Oopsie daisy, caught her on the...
Okay, let's go. Okay.
It's a boy. Look at that.
Welcome, Juano Jose Alvarez. Nationality, American. Weight, 7 pounds, 13 ounces. You are free to breathe, to wave your arms, and to scream, all in your own way. You need that freedom in order to live.
A nice boy. Okay. See.
And it's a funny thing, Juanito. Even when you grow up, you will still want to kick and scream, but in the way a man does. To lose that freedom would mean death. Not physical death, perhaps, but death of the spirit. For the human spirit is born and thrives in an atmosphere of freedom. Such is the spirit of Lee Montague, thriving as it does in the world of art. It is said that hers is a boundless imagination. Like other pioneers in her field, her creations sometimes puzzle the viewer. They are different, strange, yet it is precisely the uniqueness of her approach which fascinates and forces us to stretch our own imagination. But where does it come from, this talent of Lee Montague? What is the secret source of the startling new ideas which spring from the creative mind? We are, almost all of us, born with it. It is hard to believe that the same freedom of expression, that kicking and screaming we observe and enjoy in infants, is the basic raw material of human creativity. a small basement in New York City, a new movement in the world of jazz is evolving. Bill Dixon is part of that movement. A graduate of a New York Conservatory of Music, composer Dixon often discards traditional forms of musical rhythm, harmony, and composition. Curiously, in breaking musical conventions, he seeks to communicate more effectively with those who will listen to him. Since music is an international language, who knows but that the strange new sounds created by Bill Dixon may help to enrich communication between man and his fellow man. Perhaps it is for this reason that Bill Dixon screams and kicks in the medium of music. Of course, a thing like freedom of individual expression does not necessarily serve the best interests of society.
Okay, fellas. All right. Okay. Finish. All right, finish. I know. Now let's stop. Alan, stop a minute. Just stop it. Go over here and listen. Are you listening? Okay. It's okay.
Freedom is at its best when it brings joy instead of sadness, and when the destructive impulses of the individual become a part of something which is constructive. William Greaves is an American architect with impulses to do away with the city of New York as it is today. In its place, he sees a city whose buildings actually grow through the application of revolutionary construction techniques. One of these techniques involves the development of new chemicals specially created to expand and form any structure the architect designs. And when a building has outlived its usefulness, Mr. Greaves would tear it down and replace it with another structure in a matter of days. Even ours. There is a tendency to dismiss, even ridicule the ideas of those who think differently from most of us. And yet, a society must remain open to new ideas if it is to find practical solutions to its many problems. It may well be that the unusual ideas of William Greaves will help to solve some of the housing problems of tomorrow's overpopulated world. Since the dawn of history, the individual has played a central role in the progress of civilization. For it is in the individual mind that new ideas take shape. Paolo Soleri, living in the semi-desert of Arizona, has not only designed a city of the future, but he is living out the philosophy around which his city would revolve. It is Soleri's view that man is approaching a breakthrough in consciousness. He believes that in the not-too-distant future, man will be more strongly motivated by the forces of beauty and creativity. Thus, the buildings of the future should not be for man's physical comfort alone. They should help liberate the creative spirit latent in each individual. His architectural designs differ drastically from the more familiar structures of today. These are the bridges of Solari. To him, a bridge must be something more than a connection between 2 points. It should house people, delight and inspire each individual. It is his view that man-made environments should have the same effect on people as a beautiful sunrise. In the cities of tomorrow, Paolo Solari believes that the main industry will be the cultivation of the human spirit. Although it may not yet be our major industry, the cultivation of the human spirit is already a widespread activity. Our young people of today are encouraged to freely express their ideas, to respect the opinions of others, no matter how much they may differ. And they do differ. All through the tender years of youth, they differ. But most important, these children learn that an opinion has real value when it is supported by knowledge and a sense of social responsibility. So that when they are older, it is not surprising that they can be seen expressing their views in public places. And always there will be those who will come forward to speak with fire and conviction in support of urgent causes.
Yes, and I'm for sewers, as I always have been. But I'm also for constitutional rights, and you seem to have a penchant for disregarding them.
That may be your opinion.
Well, it's my opinion. I'll voice it publicly. And I'm telling it to you right now. You flagrantly abused their constitutional rights, ignored completely all the pleas that the people on Clawson Mountain Road and Greenbush Road would never get a sewer. And you didn't care. You listened to the engineers that said, sure, if all the county is sewered, they'll get a benefit.
No matter how small the issue, no matter how large, it is in the individual that it becomes focused.
And I will submit that in this headlong approach,
This will be the day. This will be the day when all of God's children.
It is always the independent thinker who is at the vanguard, giving leadership to the many social and political movements which are continually transforming this nation. Yesterday, these movements were concerned with political independence, abolition of slavery, the rights of labor, and of women. Today, civil rights, care for the aged, and general social welfare. Tomorrow, new issues will arise, and new individuals will emerge to test and strengthen our democracy.
And singing the words of the old Negro spiritual, free at last, free at last, thank God Almighty, we are free at last.
There are 200 million individuals in this country. They come from all parts of the world. It is a land of considerable variety. It is true that often we disagree with one another, and yet it is this constant exchange of ideas which gives vitality and a measure of excitement to our lives. Over the years, we have found that although each individual may express himself differently, it is possible to maintain harmony and, for almost all of us, keep time to the same music. And even those who seem to be out of step, who is to say that they are not listening to some other tune? Ideas and opinions, and the freedom to express them. This is the wealth of a nation. It is an ancient paradox that when one individual expresses himself, when he freely speaks and acts from the very privacy of his being, he reflects the thoughts and actions of many of his fellow men. It is with knowledge of this truth that a poet can express himself and yet speak for us all. In summertime, in quiet wood and friendly shade, from secret regions of myself, my soul screams the question, ancient as man, and older than the sound of human song. Must we die so soon? Must we sicken and suffer and cry for comfort? Must great men and infants be plucked from our midst well before their time by the 1,000 awful plagues that steal inside us? If we can build a nation out of virgin land, can split the smallest atom and climb beyond the stars, must we die from trifling plagues? What madness is here that we, like bleating sheep, accept so short a life on earth? And yet, should someday we conquer death, or win a momentary truce in time, multiplying our earthly journey by 1,000-fold, never must we forget our hard-won victory over yet another kind of death that all too quickly claims the human spirit when it breathes no more the air of freedom. For the treasured prize of our survival is the joy of self-expression in all those unique thoughts and actions that each person has to tell himself and all the world, I live.
What are you going to do tomorrow? I don't know what I'm going to do tomorrow.